Greetings everyone. I trust you're all well. On this video we'll be analyzing and preparing for this week. Today later on we have USD core CPI, USD CPI consumer price index event, right? So it's gonna be a volatile event. I was on holiday so I couldn't record videos at the time, but it's better late than never. We show up and we trade today. So without any further ado, let's look at the US dollar index because it's a fiat currency and I always talk about that on how it affects other pairs. So if you can see clearly here, we had a movement that has been taking place for quite some time. Technically, the USD index has been on a downtrend, right? Why am I saying a downtrend? Because you can see that's the last high. We have higher highs, higher high, higher high, and we have lower lows, right? That's a downtrend. That's a bearish movement. And even price has failed to break out of this structure to go up. It failed, right? So that's why price is an uptrend. It's on a downtrend, and that's why I'm saying it's on a bearish territory. So I'm looking at this, and we can see clearly that price has been failing to break this resistance level, the supply zone, multiple times. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, the fifth time, and eventually I have this little trend here. Price broke below the trend, right? Price respected the trend line and broke out of it, and we're currently having some bearish candlesticks. So I'm expecting that we could push further, right? During the CPI, we could push further, maybe a little bit drop before the event at during the New York session, and then from there we could drop, and this could be our first take profit, 103.273. But this means that if the US dollar is selling, then we are buying the Euro USD and we are selling the USD JPY. So it's a different story on the Euro USD and the USD JPY as well as gold and GBP. So let's move forward. Continuing on the USD JPY. So if I can zoom out here on the USD JPY, you'd see that we have a downtrend, right? We have a strong downtrend that's been taking place for quite some time, right? Because why? Lower highs. This high is lower than this one, is lower than that one. This one is lower, is higher than this one. So it's lower highs, lower lows. That makes it a downtrend. And if I can take a trend line and put it here, you'd see that price even respected the trend and gave us a drop, right? So with that said, price even broke out of this low, impulsed strongly and tested the zone at 141, just nearly 141, right? So what I'm expecting is that we could expect a push to the downside, a further push to the downside as you tested this zone. So some of other traders, if you know how to trade and you've watched my strategies and checked on my videos, you'd know that here you were supposed to take a sell order or set your sell limit and it would be triggered and stop loss just above there and hold. This would be our first take profit because this wick here, this candle here, it's on its own. A candle for a zone to be strong, we need multiple touches. So we only have one touch here. We might get a second touch, then possibly buy or break below price, below the candle. So I'm expecting a drop to this low, maybe for the whole week, or we can get a stronger CPI spike. Now continuing, let's look at the Euro USD on the 4-hour time frame. So since we mentioned the dollar index and how it impacts the other currencies, you'd know by now what's happening on the euro. So I analyzed this one and I seen that price has actually been on a pullback, while meanwhile I thought it was gonna drop. But this is what I actually spoke about on the previous videos, on the previous analysis. So we found a breakout here as price was high, dropped, and this was a strong demand zone. Currently price is testing the demand zone, and then you're just waiting for the event, right? I'm expecting a push to the upside. Then maybe from there, that's our take profit. Maybe from there we might sell after a second touch, or we might break out of that price. As the Euro USD has been on an uptrend and it's currently on an uptrend. If you can see clearly, this is the trend line signaling the movement to the upside, and price will only be on a sell territory or on a bearish move once it breaks below this demand zone. This demand zone is so strong that we are actually testing it, and chances are that we're going to move impulse to the upside. Continuing on the GBP USD on the 4-hour time frame. So the GBP USD is slightly correlated with the Euro USD and mostly the dollar index. So if you can take a look let me zoom out this. We see that GBP USD, the British pound and versus the dollar, has been on an uptrend. We see price break out of this high, impulse pullback, continuation. We see a spike again, pullback, continuation. Price was high, double top, break out of the neckline, and slight drop. So currently we are testing the previous zone, the strong demand zone, and I'm expecting a pullback on this strong demand zone that confluences with the daily time frame or the daily demand zone. So here, just during the event or during the New York session, just take your orders if you're trading technically, or if you're trading fundamental news. Just do what we do most, 1 minute strategy, and then just pop in there with high risk and then make money. This is the target, $1.27,000 region, and from there we might sell or might break out of the price or the zone. Stop loss just below there. That's my take on the British pound versus USD. I might be wrong on everything. I might be wrong. It might actually drop and break this demand zone and just sell, because that's nearly the trend line. Last but not least, we have the gold market. Let me do this because it's going to turn here. The gold market has been on a slight downtrend for a couple of days now. I zoomed out the charts, but if you can see, price has been on an uptrend. It impulsed to the upside, slightly pulled back, broke out of there, and then consolidated. Right, price consolidated and slightly dropped, but we're still on an uptrend, because if price was going to be on a downtrend, we should break out of this candlestick here. We should break out of that candlestick, then it will confirm that it's on a downtrend. But now it's actually testing this strong demand zone. You can see this demand zone respected multiple times in the past. So I'm expecting a little bit of consolidation. Then during the CPI event, I'm expecting an impulse. That's our target there, somewhere around $20.80 region, and then maybe further up until $2145 region, or maybe might get here and just sell, or I might be wrong and price might actually drop like a rock and just drop there, test, break the previous breakout, and then just continue, and the target could be at 1934. So guys, as well on the COT data, I understood that the institutional investors and asset managers, they are actually buying the JPY and they are selling the USD, so the DXY. So meaning we're expecting shorts on the dollar index, and then meaning that with the correlation, we expect gold to rise and expect Euro USD to rise, GBP USD to rise, or to be on a bullish move, and we anticipate the USD JPY to sell and the USD CAD to sell. So guys, brace yourself. Good luck for the CPI and good luck throughout the week. Happy trading. Cheers.